Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I couldn't help but speak this morning listening to the righteousness of those opposite. This is the same people, the member for Guoja, who was a senior minister, Attorney General in a failed Labor government that scrapped the Scrutiny Committee, Madam Speaker. And I actually find it incredibly offensive to 50 years of the Legislative Assembly when those opposite, as ignorant as they are, can stand up in this Parliament, Madam Speaker, and say that the parliamentary process isn't proper and does not allow for consultation. It is an absolute misleading statement. It is a farce to say that the normal parliamentary process doesn't work, because you know what, Madam Speaker? It has supported the Westminster tradition for hundreds of years across dozens of countries and the world. It works. It is a tried and tested system of government, opposition leader, a system of government. It absolutely works. And you know what we did? We made it even better, Madam Speaker. So I'm not going to stand here and tolerate the garbage from the other side for their own political games because they're too lazy to do their own job. It is absolutely proper parliamentary process that bills be tabled in Parliament, that they sit on the table, in which case this will sit on the table for around 6 weeks, Madam Speaker, and then it will come back for debate, in which time every single Territorian, every single person who doesn't live in the Territory, every single person who lives in the world, for all I care, can have a look at it, can provide their feedback to, wait for it, Madam Speaker, their elected representatives who are meant to be doing their job. So if you care so much about this, get out there over the next 6 weeks and do your job, Member for Nightcliff, because you can sit here and shake your head at me all you like. That is the role and responsibility of a Member of Parliament. So newsflash, everyone. The Westminster system works. Scrutiny Committee is there for an additional process. And at the end of the day, the very people who came into this Parliament and scrapped it because they were running and hiding from scrutiny cannot point the finger at the government that brought it back, Madam Speaker, that brought it back. And so we will not be accepting the member for Guoja's tokenistic amendment.
Take your seat. Everyone's being very rowdy this morning. What's your point of order, Member for Karama?
With the hearing, Chief Minister.
I think you are absolutely correct. I've allowed some latitude. It's been very exciting this morning, but we will now listen to the Chief Minister's contribution in silence. Thank you, Chief Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And so, as I said, we won't accept the member for Guoja's tokenistic amendment. And so the opposition leader, Madam Speaker, is yelling out shame because she believes the parliamentary process doesn't work. You should not be a member of Parliament if you do not believe the Parliament works, because that is what you are saying. What you are saying opposite is exactly that. The process doesn't work. What you are saying is that it does not allow for the community to have a voice and have their say, in which case you should not be a member of Parliament because it fundamentally undermines the integrity of the entire institution. Your argument is rubbish, nonsense, absolute nonsense. Okay? The process has been there and is there for a very, very good reason. So go and do your job, put it in your newsletter, reach out to your electorates, because that's what we'll all be doing. We'll be going to our electorates, seeking their feedback on it, discussing it as a team, and giving speeches in Parliament about that feedback. And then guess what, Madam Speaker? Do you know what happens at the end of all of that? We vote on it. And that's how we allow the voices of Territorians to be properly and appropriately heard in the Parliament. That's the actual process. And you know what? It would be amazing, Madam Speaker, if they actually did their jobs and came in here and voted on what their communities wanted, because we most certainly do not see that from those opposite. So, Madam Speaker, I think I've made my point. The hypocrisy from the other side is not lost on everyday Territorians. They are sick and tired of it. What they want is Labor to look themselves in the mirror and have some reflection on the result that was dished out to them by Territorians because of the way they failed for 8 years to govern the Northern Territory. And so now there is an opportunity to do things differently. We will not apologise for going against the status quo. We will not be taking leadership lessons from Labor. We will not be following any anything that Labor used to do because it didn't work. You literally broke the territory. You put Territorians on their knees. And you know what we're doing, Madam Speaker? We are building the territory back from the ground up. That is our commitment to Territorians, and we will stop at nothing to deliver on that for everyone.